we've gone over the sequence in which his elbows tied, we get his foot to step forward. Just wanted to cover that broadly. Now let's go over a situation where he's still leading with his right leg. We've gotten to this rear arm, but he's playing very loosely. Where from here, I'm really struggling to get any reaction on his part. There are quite a few things we can do from here. One of my favorite is almost like a double koichi. You can definitely go like hop in and dummy sweep. But since I'm focused on being able to come up into a heist position, I'm not going to extend my leg forward, because a lot of the issues I have with going for this dummy sweep is that I might be able to put him down to his back, right? But because my foot's extended when I try to put him down, now we're both in a situation where we're looking to heist, and I feel like it's more of an equal race where his ability to come up to a standing position and my ability to come up to a standing position are roughly equal. So an alternative that I really like, so notice that because his arm's loose, it's very easy for me to close distance with this arm. So what I'm going to look to do is stuff this into the opposite hip. And from here at the same time, left hand on the mat, I'm going to basically hop into a position where my right leg is hooking his far leg, like the rear leg, and then my left hand is going to the ankle. And from here, I'm going to look to push weight onto his heels with my, basically with my cross grip on his hip, so his heels are weighted, and now I can start looking to kick his legs out. So I'm essentially combining an ankle pick with a dummy sweep. Where from here, I feel like I can't pull him, so I'm going to hop in, and then I can start going into a position like this. So if we're able to knock him down, terrific, especially if we get weight on the heels, right? From here, we're able to actually take him over quite nicely. However, in a situation where we might have not gone to our ideal position, we hop in and he steps this leg backward, because it's hard for him to actually step the ankle pick leg back just by nature of this grip. It's going to be very difficult for him to pummel this leg out. As opposed to this dummy sweep leg, here it's very easy for him to pummel out. What can we do in a situation like this? So from here, I try to hit this ankle pick dummy sweep. He steps out. Same thing, I'm going to use my right heel to pull myself up. And from here, I can come into a single leg situation where I can start coming up, heisting, and getting to a single leg. So once again, I feel like I can't pull him. It's stuck. I'm going to hop in, get this ankle pick dummy sweep. If I can break him down to a hip, we do the same things we were talking about before. Try to identify which hip he's heisting off of, and then we're going to look to control that leg. If Jet steps back, I'm going to look to use my right heel to pull myself up into a kneeling position and start coming up into a single leg. For the time being, we're not going to talk about the single leg. We're going to talk about this next, but we're going to talk about this quite in depth. So just first work on this ankle pick dummy sweep from a situation where his arm is loose, and then we'll practice the single leg a lot more in the next portion. I'll do this one more time. So I'm playing from here. That's 3-2-1. I get this grip. I find she's playing quite loose because he doesn't want me to time the step. So what I'm going to do is hop in. I'm going to look for this ankle pick koichi. From here, he knows this is coming, so he steps back. I'm looking to come up to my knees. Just one detail sometimes when people get off with this is their knee position. So when I look for this, a lot of the times when I look for this ankle pick koichi, it's appropriate for me to have my knee on the inside or outside. It doesn't really matter where my knee position is, so long as it's not like ridiculous like this. Because from here, if I look to continue with this sweep, I'm basically going to get hipped in on, and it's more appropriate for me to enter the legs. But from here, when it's quite shallow, I can have my knee on the inside or outside. I don't really have a preference. However, if your knee is on the inside and he steps his leg back, you're going to have to transfer your knee from the inside to the outside in order to heist. Because if from here I look to heist, it's going to be easier for him to sprawl out on me. Because notice, because my knee's on the inside, I don't really have anything on the outside of his leg besides my hand, and he has a good angle on me. It's going to be much easier for him to sprawl from here. There are alternatives that I can use from here that could be like rotating doubles. However, we won't do that now. But if you want to continue to the single leg, so from here, he's on the inside and he steps back, right? If I want to do the single leg, I'm going to bring my knee to the outside. So now, from here, when he looks to sprawl out on me, because I have my knee behind his heel, now when he looks to sprawl this leg back, it's going to be far more difficult. And now when I come up to my feet, I'm in a much better position. Any questions? Sweet. 1, 2, 3.